Alright everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since the last upload, probably about a year now. I've taken some time away to be able to practice and hone my skills before I just proceed to upload content. Today I'm going to come to you with Bystial Runick Synchro, and I'm just going to go over you a rundown of the deck profile, the basic combo. And also keep in mind that I'm not the best player in the world. I do mess up, I do make mistakes. There are a million players better than me, so take everything I say with a grain of salt and don't copy my list exactly as it is. You can always feel free to tweak things how you think would be best. Anyway, let's hop in. So looking at the deck profile, we have to run at least 17 to 18 runics for this to work, because the combo requires one runic spell outside of the fountain, of course, and Stardust, and you have full combo. And there's a secondary combo which I'll show you, but that's if you open up 2 runic spells and Assault, and that's, I think, a stronger line, but it requires you to open up 2, so it's nice to have a variation. Anyway, so we'll have to play the 2 fountain. I usually play 3 tip, but again, I just built this on what I have. So of course this and the Raging Storm or the Smiting Storm, and one of the Dispellings would be 3 tips, but anyway, 1 tip, and then 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Destruction, and then 3 Freezing Curses, the important ones, Dispelling, and then of course Smiting Storm and Slumber. Slumber is actually very good. I would actually play this at 3 over this, but I only have 1. The whole point is, of course, to have to at least 17 to 18 runics so you can see the amount you need and then still have enough to make your fountain go plus. Yeah, so I play 17, and then of course to get to your synchro engine you have to play 3 tuning, and I prefer this over on your mark, because if you're activating your runic spells in the draw phase to get to your Hugin or your Gary, depends which line you go with, you shut off on your mark at set duel. So it's not a really good card to search a synchron, because then you have to do that in the main phase and then you play into draw. So tuning is the best to work with here. You can add 1 or 2 on your marks if you want to for more consistency, but I don't think it's necessary. And then this package plays the Arrive and Light package. There's no need for the Stardust Illumination and the Trail package, because Brota is not going to be searching Trail, it's going to be searching Lubellion, and I'll get to that in a second. So the Arrive and Light package, of course, it has to be this and Converging Worlds. These 2 are a must. You can choose between Brota, the other Mud Dragon, and I think there's another card. There's 3 options you can pick from, but I think Brota is still the best option. And also it has Grave Effect, which is really nice. And then of course the 3 starter synchron, which is the primary synchron you want to see, so you play it at 3. And then you have your 1 assault synchron, and honestly, depending on how you sequence the deck, and again, this is not the final list for me, I'm still updating it as I go, but I think you play this maybe at 2, maybe, because like we've got 6 ways to start a synchron, we have 4 ways to assault synchron. I don't know if it is necessary to play a second one, but this facilitates quite a lot. But then again, it does, this package or to combo with assault requires you to open up 2 runics. This requires just 1, which is really nice. And then of course the Bystial package, which is so strong with Bystial Runick, as you've seen in other deck profiles, but the difference here is you only need to play 1 Lubellion, 1 Mag because limited, and then 1 Druisworm. I actually find both Bystial Baldrake is actually kind of stronger than Druisworm for me personally, but I think for the sake of this is a deck profile for everyone to use, people would most often prefer the Druisworm, so I put it in. And then of course Lubellion, you only really need to play it at 1 because it's searchable. Like your Brotor is going to target your Converging Worlds, and then you add Lubellion to hand, so there's no need to play more, but if you want to, go ahead. And the reason I kind of slimmed it down is because, like, as you can see, we want to have space for hand traps because this is a hand trap format. Board Break is not going to do really all that much, because again, I've been playing Vanadium with Droplet and Econ, and it's not really doing that great. So I had to slim down the Bystial package to facilitate this, and of course if I could slim this down even further, I'd play more hand traps. And then of course the one Regained, which is brilliant. It's such a good card because in the combo we do make a Dispatter and then we use it to synchro into shooting Majestic, and then on your opponent's turn you regain revive your Dispatter, which is really nice. So you have to play this. And then of course you have 369 slots for whatever hand traps or whatever cards you want to play. I'm playing hand traps, so I play 3 Ash, 3 Impom, 3 Ogre, which I think is underrated right now. And then of course you can put in Nib if you want to. I've got Nib in the side. And then running through the extra deck, and this is where the ratios are a little different. I only play one Hugin because again this combo mainly focuses on Stardust. The Assault is a nice package to have, and that would require 2 Hugins, but it's not really the go-to line. So again, you can get away with one. So one Hugin, one Munin, because of course time, because we skip battle phases quite a lot, so you need a lot of time cards, or you need something to give you an advantage. And then of course 2 Gary, because this combo is the most important one, and in the draw phase you're going to be making Gary most of the times, unless you open up like an abundance of runic spells. Then you can go for Hugin and then do whatever you want. But these 2 are, I think, the most important ones. So of course 2 Gary, 1 Cupid Pitch, because again 1 time 2, it's the combo piece when you make the Salt packet, the Salt line. And then for the Stardust line you have to play Scarred and Red Dragon Archfiend. These work so nicely because it's 2 non-tuners. It's like you use the first one, it just spams out the second one, which is nice, but you have to use the second one, otherwise you blow up your board. So that's something to keep in mind, but it's a really good non-tuner to have. And then of course Omega, so if your combos get, so if Stardust gets stopped and you're stuck with a Gary and a Stardust on field, you just make Omega rip, and you at that point you're just playing Runic, which is really not a bad place to be. But yeah, that's just a failsafe. Axel, that's just if you are in a weird spot in your combo where you got hand trapped at a weird spot, or like, you know, you have access to Axel to maybe go into a Baron or a Dispatter. It's nice to have. It's not like the main, we're not focusing heavily on this card. It's just something to help you proceed after getting put in a weird spot. The Dispatter, which is mandatory for this build, like it is so good, and it revives stuff from your banish pile, which is amazing. Like you usually sometimes banish one of these two to bring out your Bystials, and then you Dispatter, revive this, and then if you have an Assault in hand, you just make the Baron from there, which is really nice. Chenging, this is a runic deck, so Chenging is going to go bonkers if you're going second. So Chenging, and depends on the matchup as well, but Chenging is brilliant, you have to play it. Baron is Baron, no need to say anything more there. SMSD, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, brilliant broken card. The reason we all play the Arrive at Night package. It's a really hard card to out. And then I play the Brave Masarawa. This is just like if you're put in a really weird spot and you can synchro 12, because again, like this, what runics need is draw power to be able to see your runic spells, especially if you have Fountain on field. So it's a really good card to have, and it's going to be a hard card to out. It's a 4k. You place this down in defense, so like it's going to take a bit of time to get this outed. And then of course the Hieratic Seal, because you do use whatever dragon and the Scar Red to make the Hieratic Seals, which triggers to bring out your Red Dragon Archfiend and proceed to synchro from there. So I think this is the optimal extra deck. Of course the main deck can change, and then the extra deck will change based off of that, but for now this is the most optimal extra deck. Side, it could be whatever you are focused on, depends on your local scene or what you're planning to prepare for. So for me it's 3 Nib, 3 Bell, especially for gimmick puppets, and the Snake Eyes matchup, like Bell is very strong, and also against Voiceless Voice. Bell is actually not that bad. And then Cosmic is kind of mandatory this format. It does quite a lot against quite a lot of decks, especially with Flamberge, placing things in the spell and trap zones, banishing an IP or Flamberge in the spell and trap zone is actually kind of nice. Lightning Storm is just generically good going second. And then this is kind of a really nice card for runics, but it does clash with your combo. So again, if you usually only play this, like if you don't see any access to this and you just have runics, then you can play runic with the Grave, because Grave just says level 6 or higher special summon monsters on the field, cannot declare attacks, nor can player activate their effects, which is quite strong. And then of course summon limit. If it's gonna be bonkers, we might as well use it. Anything it takes to win, of course, at least that's my opinion. But yeah, that's the deck list. I'm going to show you the basic combo. Let's hop in. Alright, this is going to be the basic combo. Of course, you only need Stardust and any runic spell outside of Fountain to be able to combo. Of course, I'm going to show you the Assault line, which requires 2 runic spells and the Assault. But for now, let's go through the basic combo. And again, this is going to be discard fodder for whatever you see coming forward. So, of course, in the draw phase, you would activate your Dispelling to special. You don't go for Hugin, you go for Gary. And then you go Standby Main, normal summon. And of course, if this normal summon effect gets Ash or Imperm, then of course you just make Omega and you rip a card from their hand and then you pass and play with whatever else you have in hand. Bit of a difficult pull for me to swallow because, again, I'm a very combo heavy player. I'm trying something new that requires you to not go all gas, and it's more of a grind game. So I am still trying to learn how to work with that. But it's not a bad thing. It's really not, especially with this deck. That's the whole point of this deck. So anyway, we're going to add the Riven Light. We will then activate the Riven Light to place the Converging Wolves Dragon to the top of your deck. And then we will Synchro 8, you make your Scarred Dragon Archfiend. And then you trigger the Riven Light to draw a card. You draw, of course, your Converging Wolves. Converging Wolves affect the special itself. And you special out the Proto, and this is where the discard is very important. So now you go Proto effect, target this, discard a card, and then add Bystial Rebellion from deck to hand. And now from here, you can sequence this however you want, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. You link these two off for a Hieratic Seals, triggers card, to summon out RDA. We go Bystial Rebellion effect, you add Magnamit. Then you can special summon the Lubellion, and then trigger its effect to put the regain on the field. We can then mag. We can literally banish anything, it does not matter. Let's put Gary. And then you special out Magnamit chain 1. We will hold the regain for now. I usually want to use this for Stardust. So you put back your Stardust and draw a card. And then we go Stardust Synchron effect. We will then be tributing off. Let's tribute off Lubellion because I don't think it's necessary. You make this and then you special the Dispatcher. This triggers. You put this back to your deck and draw 1. The draw does not matter. And then you make your Shooting Majestic. And this is where you can kind of pass. Like, it does not matter. Again, you used 3 cards in your hand to make this combo work. You have 2 other cards. If they are Runics, you are Gucci. And of course, the Hieratic Seal is a bounce, which is really good. You've got the Omni Negate. And then of course, in your opponent's turn, you are going to be specialing back your Dispatcher from your graveyard. And again, Lubellion is in the graveyard, so it's gonna be bonkers going the turn going after. So again, this is kind of the basic combo. I'm now going to show you what to do with the Assault line. Okay, this is the Assault line. I just gave an extra card because I can't remember if it needs a discard, but anyway. What you need for this combo is 1 Assault and 2 Runic spells that you can work with. And of course, draw phase, you go Smiting Storm to special. This one, oh yes, you need the discard for Hugin. Special out the Hugin, not the Gary this time. Hugin effect, you can pitch a fount, whatever for cost, and then add the fountain. And of course, if this gets ashed, it does not matter. Like, we don't really need it. It's nice to go plus, but it's not necessary to combo. If that makes sense. And then of course, Standby Main. We activate the fountain. You can then either normal summon if you don't want to burn yourself, or special it if it does not matter. And then you Synchro 4, you make your Cupid Pitch. And please remember, don't screw yourself and don't place the Cupid Pitch in the EMZ because you need to be able to special out the second runic now. So chain 1 Cupid Pitch to reduce its level, or increase its level, sorry. And then chain 2 Dispelling to special the Gary. So we increase. Of course, Gary can trigger here because we have a fountain in grave, but in most cases you won't. So here we can go fountain effect. Target the 2 and then draw 2. and that is actually very nice. And then from here, you basically synchro into your Baron or your Chenging, whichever you prefer. And then Cupid Pitch can add them onto its 600 defense from deck to hand. I took out that package because I was playing Tour Guide, and then you can make a Gossip Shadow on top of that, or you can play the the TG package, where Cupid Pitch adds Rocket Salamander from deck to hand, normal summon the Rocket Salamander, tribute summon out Screw Serpent revive Rocket Salamander, synchro into the TG Synchro 5, and then from there it basically it adds back a TG from grave to hand. You add back the Rocket Salamander, you summon it out again, and you basically make a Synchro 7 of your choice. But again, I'm just going very basic here. And of course, Cupid Pitch is going to burn your opponent for 1,000, which is really nice. But yeah, that's kind of the basic combo for both. Now that you know, you can tweak it, you can play around with it. And of course, it's not perfect. I'm still working on it. But I just wanted to share something cool that I figured out with you guys. Alright guys, so now you saw the deck profile and the two basic combos. I think you can kind of get a feel of what the deck does. Again, my thoughts on this deck is okay. Not the best deck in the format, definitely not. It dies to quite a lot of things, and again, this concept is really cool, the fact that you can synchro summon, but I feel like there are better builds of this, and of course the Bystial Runick variation I think is a little stronger. I think that might be a way to go, where instead of playing so many synchrons, we play more of a Bystial count, we just up the assault synchron count, and then we kind of play that way. Because then again, you don't have to worry about bricks like Arrive and Light, the Converging Wolves and the Proto. That might be the way forward, just scrapping that completely. And then of course you have the Earthbound Runick, which again is very strong, so I think there are better routes to take, but this was just a little bit of an exploration to see what was possible. And I think again that maybe someone who looks at this and could maybe take this and add upon it, maybe could create something amazing. And if you do, please drop a comment in the description box below. I forget what it's called on YouTube, geez, it's been a while. And just let me know what you think you would add to this to make it better, or to actually make it a top contender. But yeah, that's all from me today. Yeah, again, drop a like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.